Teenagers in Atlanta have been taken over. This Atlanta takeover has started with Atlantic Station and now is hitting different parts of the city. I'll show you.
Atlanta police say parents could now face charges after hundreds of teenagers caused chaos at the Atlantic Station. So this is video. This is from Saturday night showing fights unfolding and customers running for their lives. Police said that they first responded to Atlantic Station after 7 p.m. when someone set off fireworks and found about 400 unsupervised kids.
What we did not see were parents of any of the 400 juveniles, children that were present. And as we continue to address this issue and make adjustments to keep this area safe, we must be joined by parents knowing where their children are, ensuring they are under proper supervision of adults and are abiding by the law.
You know, officers moved the teenagers from Atlantic Station property, pushing them all the way towards the 17th Street Bridge, and that's where police say 2 guns were fired just before 10 p.m. Now, APD.
Now, this is the Battery Atlanta. This is different than Atlantic Station. Atlantic Station's in what? Atlanta, Midtown area. The Battery is it's like north of the city. It's not the same place. These children are going from one place to the next, taking over whenever there's a holiday, whenever they have a free 3-day weekend, for example. And none of the parents are out here, totally forgetting that they have children or even not knowing where their children are.
12 just ran their ass up out of here.
And there's more.
Popular areas across Metro Atlanta are swarming with police tonight or under curfew right now after rumors of teen takeovers are happening. A similar event last weekend ended with more than a dozen teenagers and adults in handcuffs. Atlanta News First reporter Justin Berger stopped by each one of those 4 rumored locations today. He joins us now live along the Beltline. And Justin, what's going on out there?
Yes, Sydney. So Atlanta police officers have confirmed to me out here on the Beltline that they have an enhanced presence tonight because of those takeover rumors. You can see one of the police cars here. We've observed about half a dozen near the Krog Street area of the Atlanta Beltline. Now, officers have told me they have confiscated 4 guns. I watched one of those confiscations take place, and I've watched APD officers put multiple people in handcuffs tonight. But like you said, this is not the only place this is happening. We were over at Cumberland Mall in the Battery in Cobb County. A number of law enforcement agencies, including the Cobb County Sheriff's Office Mounted Patrol. Those are sheriff's deputies on horseback making circles around Cumberland Mall. Cobb County Police, Marietta Police, and Georgia.
And he goes on, and I'm gonna finish it, but I'm gonna tell you, it goes back to what the parents allow to happen. We gotta be parents and not just be overseers of the children. That's a fact. You got a ton of parents out here, and I get it. They work multiple jobs, and it's kind of hard to keep up with where the children are. But then that means that something needs to change if you don't know where your children are. You birthed these children, just like the guy who gave his kid, 15-year-old son or 16-year-old son, the keys to the car and told him to back it out. And the boy took the car all over and ended up killing a grandmother, 3 children, and now the father has 37 years in prison. They're not playing with it in Atlanta. They're going to start holding parents accountable for where their children are, especially when you have kids that pop up and they have weapons and they have guns on them. And the parents, I'm pretty sure, don't even know that they have guns on them. In the past, I was against this. I always thought about the single mom that had children and she's working 2 to 3 jobs and she's trying to really make it work. But now, with just the changes in society and how these kids have just gone basically left to their own devices, I believe that they need to be bored and held responsible for their children just being over at anywhere, vandalizing people's product and their stuff, just being reckless and careless with what they do, it just needs to stop. It just needs to stop. And it makes us who take care of our children look really, really bad in the eyes of the public. Now, some of us don't care because we do what we got to do with our children, regardless of what anyone else thinks. But what about the ones that don't, that do care? What about the ones that really, their children are trying to get into college, or they want their children to get into college, go to school, have a better life, or get a career, get a trade, and have a better life than they did? It makes it harder when they're campaigning with knuckleheads. And I grew up in Philly, and I've campaigned with knuckleheads before when I was in high school. And my mom would tell me when I came home, you need to stop hanging with them boys. Them boys aren't good for you. You don't know your friends. And a lot of kids, because their brains aren't developed, they really don't know the people that they hang with. And things like this seems very fun, but it's left to the parents to drive it home so that they understand that this is not great for the community. This is not great for society. And if anything, I think the community needs to find better ways to keep these children entertained. Back in the day when I grew up, and my kids don't even like me talking about back in the day, we had recreational centers behind my house where you had tennis courts, basketball courts. Some people had pools, recreational pools near where they lived. And it just provided an atmosphere for kids to get out and to do something. And we have those things in Atlanta, in Georgia, but for whatever reason, it's not catching, and the kids are out here in the street. So we got to figure out what's going on.
Georgia State Patrol also seen circling the area. The Battery was a similar scene. A lot of Cobb County police officers, the roads leading up to the stadium were closed. Now, we've talked to a few people here on the Beltline, and many of them have told me that they were actually aware that the takeover was rumored to be happening today. Take a listen.
I've never seen so many police cars, so many policemen walking towards the Beltline. It's a different dynamic. It's so crazy to see so many teenagers just out there roaming in the wild. I didn't know that was something that could transpire. I just thought, like, where are the parents, you know?
Now, once again, Atlanta police officers telling us they are out here with an enhanced presence trying to deter any activity. We will continue to monitor the goings-on the Beltline tonight. We're live in Atlanta. Justin Berger, Atlanta News First.
Yeah, and so Atlanta's instituted a curfew to take place moving forward. I'm hoping that they enforce that curfew, and I hope that it makes stuff like this end, because if you know your child is coming up on a 3-day vacation, or you know they got a week vacation, which we just came off of, I think it was winter break, we got to find something for them to do. Now, growing up, where we came up, our parents didn't always have anything for us to do, but going and riding your bike, your skateboard, getting that level of exercise where you explore your neighborhood and surrounding neighborhoods was a big thing. And it doesn't seem like it's as big right now with children. And I see some kids out here doing that, but not as many. But as parents become held, as they hold parents more and more accountable, parents, there's no way you're going to be able to escape this. And if I'm correct, depending on it, it may be a misdemeanor, or it could be something that affects how you make your money. And you never want your kids to come in that place where their actions affect how you make your money. Hey, like, subscribe, follow for more content. I'll see you guys on the next video. Be blessed.